The air in the Sahara Desert shimmered, not with heat haze, but with an otherworldly glow. Moments later, where only parched sand had stretched for miles, a vibrant oasis bloomed, lush and green, fed by newly sprung artesian wells. In another corner of the globe, a child, terminally ill and fading, sat up in bed, a radiant warmth spreading through her, leaving her utterly, miraculously healed. This was the arrival of Ra. Ra, an ancient Kryptonian god figure, descended upon Earth with his disciples, radiating an aura of profound peace and immeasurable power. He wasn't a conqueror in the traditional sense, he was a benefactor. He spoke of harmony, of elevating humanity, of sharing the wisdom of his ancient civilization. He terraformed vast swaths of barren land into fertile grounds, eradicated diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries, and brought an unprecedented era of global prosperity. The world, weary from its own conflicts and struggles, embraced him with open arms. News channels broadcasted his benevolent acts around the clock, and fervent worship of Ra became a global phenomenon, eclipsing old faiths and uniting nations under a banner of unprecedented hope. He was truly beloved, a divine answer to humanity's deepest prayers. But amidst the overwhelming wave of adoration, a quiet disquiet began to settle in the hearts of the Justice League. They observed, they listened, and they consulted. Batman, ever the pragmatist, saw patterns that didn't quite align with pure altruism. Superman, recognizing the ancient Kryptonian symbols and scriptures that Ra cited, felt a cold knot in his stomach. Ra's interpretations of Kryptonian prophecy seemed twisted, altered. Wonder Woman, deeply attuned to the nuances of divine power, sensed an underlying current of control, a subtle coercion beneath the surface of his blessings. While the world celebrated, the League worked in the shadows, their initial skepticism deepening into a chilling certainty. Their investigation was painstaking, dangerous, and incredibly isolating. They infiltrated Ra's inner sanctuaries, deciphered ancient texts, and analyzed the strange energy signatures left behind by his miracles. What they uncovered was a truth far more horrifying than any invasion they had ever faced. Ra wasn't elevating humanity, he was converting it. His terraforming was not for Earth's benefit, but to reshape it into a new Krypton, a desolate, crimson landscape suitable only for his kind of life. And the healing, the blessings, they were subtle genetic alterations, preparing humanity to become his loyal, DNA-altered worshippers, stripped of their true free will, bound to him through biological imperative. The miracles were a Trojan horse, a sugar-coated path to total subjugation. The revelation hit them hard. How do you tell billions of people that the being they worship, the one who cured their loved ones and brought prosperity, is actually their silent enslaver? How do you fight a God who is universally adored? This was the true test of their resolve, not just a battle of strength, but a war for the very soul of humanity, against an enemy protected by the love and faith of the very people they were trying to save. The confrontation was inevitable. The Justice League, with heavy hearts, moved against Ra. The moment they declared his true intentions, the world reacted with shock, then anger, then outright hostility towards the heroes. Broadcasts branded them as jealous, misguided, blasphemous. Civilians, empowered by Ra's subtle enhancements, actively resisted the League, forming human shields around his temples, believing they were protecting their savior from misguided aggressors. The battle itself was a desperate, multi-front struggle. Ra wielded cosmic energy with terrifying grace. His disciples, enhanced by his power, were formidable foes. Superman found himself battling a perversion of his own heritage, a chilling reflection of what Krypton could have become under such tyranny. Batman, despite his vulnerability, orchestrated complex strategies, buying precious moments for the others. Wonder Woman, drawing on her Amazonian strength and wisdom, stood as a bulwark against Ra's mind-altering influence, reminding humanity of their inherent resilience. The Flash became a blur of disruption, striking at the heart of Rao's energy conduits, while Green Lantern, with sheer force of will, conjured constructs to shield the innocent and contain the chaos. Every punch thrown, every strategy executed was accompanied by the crushing weight of public condemnation. They were the villains in the world, fighting against its perceived salvation. But they persevered, fueled by an unwavering belief in humanity's right to self-determination, even if humanity itself didn't realize it was being stolen from them. It wasn't about simply defeating a powerful being. It was about protecting the very essence of what it meant to be human. Ultimately, after a grueling and emotionally taxing struggle, the Justice League succeeded in neutralizing Rao, containing his power, and disrupting his insidious terraforming process before it could irrevocably transform Earth or humanity. The aftermath was a period of global reckoning. As Rao's influence receded, the subtle alterations in human DNA began to revert, and the terrifying truth of his plan slowly dawned upon the world. There was shame, anger, and profound confusion, but also a slow dawning gratitude for the heroes who had stood against the tide of popular opinion, who had fought not for glory, but for freedom, even when it meant being reviled. This was a victory that left scars, a reminder of how easily good intentions, or seemingly good intentions, can mask the most profound evils. It highlighted the immense burden of true heroism, to act not when it's easy or popular, but when it's absolutely necessary, to stand for what's right even when the entire world stands against you. It was a profound lesson in the nature of faith, the danger of blind trust, and the unwavering commitment required to protect the sanctity of life and free will. And so, the Justice League continued their silent vigil, forever reminded that the greatest threats sometimes come disguised as the greatest blessings. What are your thoughts on this incredible test of their resolve? Have you ever had to stand against a popular opinion you knew was wrong? Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the extraordinary tales of heroism and sacrifice.